Joining us now, pollster Lee Carter and New York Post reporter Jon Levine. Thank you both for being here. Joe stands at a podium, Lee, and says, you're better off financially. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm going to state it as a fact. Yet the numbers that Morning Joe is so scared of show that on immigration, on the economy, on inflation, people see it upside down. They know who's running this economy into the ground. How bad are those numbers?
They're horrible. I mean, there is just nothing that you can look at it that takes anything good about where Joe Biden stands on the economy, on inflation, on immigration, on all the issues that matter most. His approval rating is at the floor. Most people say Republicans can do way better than he can. And yet his response is, all that polling stuff says that everybody's never felt better. It is the absolute opposite of what he should be doing. I mean, nothing kills trust faster than a contradiction. If you tell somebody who feels really bad, and most people do feel really bad about their grocery bills and their energy bills and everything else, and you tell them that it's never been better, they're just going to reject you. And that's what we're seeing across the board.
Does this have you seen these numbers work their way into national and state-based presidential polls? We've seen Donald Trump move into a lead in many of those. They're trying to say they're outliers, Lee, but is it making its way into the polling? Because there are some that say, well, people don't like Donald Trump, so they're not going to move in his direction. But it seems it is moving in that direction.
It does seem it's moving in that direction. In the 7 states that matter the most, when you look at it, Donald Trump actually has an advantage. And when you look at some of the key demographics that were the ones that carried Joe Biden into office in 2020, he's actually losing ground by about 10 points. He's lost ground with African Americans. He's lost ground with women, suburban women, Hispanics. All across the board, those voters that really carried him into the presidency are now turning away from him. And it is a big, big problem. Yeah. He seems very out of touch. You should take a page out of the playbook. I feel your pain would be something that would go a long way. But instead, he says, look, Bidenomics, things have never been better. And well, yeah, everybody knows better.
People aren't stupid, but he's not smart enough to change his tune. I mean, old dog do tricks. That's the situation we're in right now. Jon, let me move to that second part of the story, too, because it seems they're just doubling down on the protection racket here. I mean, okay, we've got a special counsel that oversees whistleblowers. We've had a whistleblower problem here in the Biden administration. So we're not saying there's just some loose association. We know through emails from the laptop that Hunter Biden knows the guy coming in to run the special counsel. Is this just cover for them?
It is a real case of who will monitor the monitors. This is a very clubby Democratic law firm. It has only about 150 attorneys. Hunter Biden and the individual who was just nominated to this post were both senior employees at this firm. And I think it shows a certain arrogance by the White House that they feel they can just do this and the American people won't care or won't notice. And, you know, to the point your guest made earlier, there are bigger immediate problems in this country for ordinary people. But this is just a drop in the bucket if you look at the larger Hunter Biden scandal. When he was vice president, Joe Biden was meeting with business partners in the White House. Joe Biden is putting the people that are buying Hunter Biden's art into government commissions. I mean, the recklessness and the arrogance, and they think the American people are stupid, and they think the American people don't care. And ultimately, it is going to be something that has to get adjudicated by the American people in the 2024 election. They're going to be the ones that say, look, is this something we care about or not? Is this a factor in our vote? And are we going to hold Joe Biden accountable or not?
And, Jon, they're certainly, I guess they're counting on it's just another drip in the Washington intrigue. Right. We're going to pick our partisan sides. Most of the media will take our defense. And so you can count on that. I don't want to speculate here, but how problematic is the investigations in the House sort of pausing if we want to get to the bottom of Hunter and Joe?
Well, look, you know, these investigations are operating on a timetable. You know, Democrats are trying to run out the clock in the hope that they take back the House in 2024 and then they shut down the probe. So when the House is in chaos, we're not doing the probe. And we're wasting days. Every single day is critical. It takes such a long time to get these bank records. The process of subpoenaing individuals is not like you just send out a subpoena. You've got to send letters. There's negotiation with lawyers. Every single day that we lose picking a new speaker or in House chaos sets us back in every direction on this probe. No question about it.
Lee, real quick, 20 seconds. Do developments like this register with voters, or are bigger issues just overwhelming at all?
Well, I think it does register because more than 70% of Americans, and that's across the aisle, say that the system is rigged to favor the elite and ruling class. And that doesn't mean Donald Trump. They think that Donald Trump, 60% of Americans say, is the only one that they can fight back. And so most people are seeing through this, and it's a big issue. And I think these kinds of appointments, these kinds of issues actually make it worse, not better.
There you go. Lee and Jon, thank you both for being here.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.